Hi and welcome to this summer practice. We're going to start with just a little bit of Qigong, a little bit of breathing and a little bit of movement. So we're going to come and stand with our feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to bring the hands so that one hand rests above the other. And just imagine there's a sort of a sense of, if you foot in sideways, you can see how my hands aren't touching the body. There's a sense of energy that's created between the hands. There's a sort of feeling of energy between the palms, a warmth. And as you breathe, you're just going to focus on the hands, cultivating a little bit of warmth or energy within the palms. And then bring the bottom hand forward above the top hand, and the top hand goes down. And this top hand now comes at around the area of the chest, and the bottom hand's coming down around the area of the lower abdomen. Letting the shoulders relax as you breathe. And this summer practice is all about the fire element. So as you breathe, you visualize a little tiny flame just resting in the palm of your hand. And as you exhale, it's as if you're just blowing gently on the embers of that fire, that flame, just to keep it alight. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the elbows relaxed. Letting the knees soften. And you can turn the palms to face each other. Bottom hand comes forward, top hand goes down. Again, just pushing gently down with the bottom hand and just lifting the top hand up towards the center of the chest. And again, as you breathe, visualizing a little flame. On the exhale, just encouraging that little flame to flicker, keeping the fire alight. Breath is slow and even, trying to lengthen the exhale. Just to quieten the mind down. And release the arms by the side of you. As you breathe in, you're going to think about moving your arms, and then you're going to let your arms move up as the knees just bend gently up to around the center of the chest. And as you exhale, think about the arms moving, and then slowly lower the arms down by the side of you. Breathing in, think about the arms moving before they actually move. Let the arms be very sort of light, and as you exhale, lower the arms back down. Just let the movements come in a wave. Think about the breath coming in and then moving. Think about the breath moving out and then moving. Yeah, do one more of these. Breathing in and exhale. Good. Then send the arms wide as you breathe in. So stretching from the center of the chest to the edges. And as you exhale, bring the arms in. If you're hugging a tree, and the elbows slightly bent. Breathing in, expanding out to the edges. And as you exhale, contracting in. Breathing in, softening through all the joints, all the areas of tension. And as you exhale, contracting into the center. Next time you inhale, send the arms up. Think about the breath, think about the movement. Exhale, open the arms wide like the branches of a tree. Inhale, think about the movement, think about bringing the arms towards each other. Think about the exhale, think about opening the arms up like the branches of a tree. One more, breathing in. And as you exhale, bring the hands down through the center line. So you're going to put all those movements together into one little sequence. So as you inhale, you let the arms float up to sort of shoulder, chest height. And as you exhale, slowly, like a ripple, straightening the body slightly, bring the arms back down. As you inhale, open the arms wide. And just letting the knees bend a little bit. And as you exhale, bring the arms in as if you're hugging around a tree. Breathing in, send the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, let the arms fall wide like a tree. Breathing in, bring the palms together. And as you exhale, lower the hands down. You should be a little bit more centered, a bit more balanced now before we begin the practice. So bringing the feet directly underneath the hips. Just going to lift the shoulders up and draw them down and back. Inhaling and exhaling. Do one more of these. Ooh, just rinsing off any tension through the shoulders. Then some head curls, head rolls. Dropping ear to shoulder, drop the head back, ear to shoulder, and chin to chest. As you breathe in, go in the opposite direction. Good. And then go back the other way, breathing in. And exhaling, all the way back to the start. One more circle, breathing in. And exhale. Good, lift the head up, just drop it back slightly. And as you exhale, bringing the chin into the chest, just hinging at the hips, folding, softening at the knees, slide the hands down to come into an easy forward fold. Inhale, sliding the hands up as you unfurl, dropping the head back gently at the top. Exhale, rolling down, sliding the hands down, the legs for support. And then inhale as you unfurl. One more, exhale as you roll down. And inhale as you roll back up. Good, come back into the center. Give the shoulders a little shuggle. Breathing in, open the arms, open the chest. As you exhale, hinge at the hips as you sink a little bit into the legs. Breathing in, opening. And exhale, back so the hands come together. Good, breathing in. This time, bring the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold forwards. Send the arms up, a little shuggle of the shoulders, resting the body along the thighs. Audible exhale. Good, lower the arms to the back. Breathing in, lift up, release the arms, lift the heels up towards the ceiling, take a little balance. And as you exhale, lowering the heels, fold again. Crossing the arms in front of you and inhale, uncross them, trying to not touch the arms as you do this movement. Bring the arms behind the back again, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fold. Exhale. Send the arms away from the hips, a little shrivel of the shoulders. And then release the arms and come on up to standing. Again, let the heels lift just for a moment's balance, and then exhale as you lower the arms down. You're going to turn to the left side. Left arm moves behind you, right arm moves forwards. You take a twist, lower, breathing in. As you exhale, send it to the other side. So just let the knees bend slightly. Good, breathing in. As you transition, exhale as you turn. See if you can let the arms go a little bit higher, and I'm keeping the feet well rooted into the ground so that my knees don't twist. And I'm trying to bring the arms a little bit closer towards each other. The meridians for Sama, the heart and the small intestine, are in the arms. So there's a bit of a focus on moving through the arms, particularly into the shoulders where the small intestine runs, into the shoulder blade. And one more of these, breathing in. And exhale. Lower the arms, come back to the center. Give the shoulders a little roll again. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, fold. So hinging at the hips, coming down through the center line. Linger in the forward fold. Just move the head gently a little bit from side to side. And slowly unfurling as you come back up to center. Again, you can bring the arms wide and bring the palms together. Hands back to the center of the chest. We're going to do that once more. Breathing in. Exhale, folding. So remember, only coming into a fold that's suitable for you. Hands coming down to the shins or to the ground, letting the crown of the head come down. Take a little stretch of the mouth, the jaw here. And then rooting the feet down, inhale as you come up. Send the arms wide. And bring the palms together. Make your way to the top of the mat. So it's a very simple practice, this. Nice and simple for summer. Just getting us onto the mat, really. Bring the arms up. As you exhale, you can send the arms wide as you swallow dive down into your forward fold. Lift up, get a little bit of length through the backs of the legs. And as you exhale, refold. Just linger a little bit longer into this fold. Feeling the stretch through the backs of the legs. Yeah, then bending the legs, rooting into the feet, bring the arms wide as we come up to standing. And exhale, bring the hands down. So taking it now into a Vinyasa. Exhale, fold, hinging. Hands come to the shins or fingertips to the ground. Lift the head up to that halfway line. Get a little bit more of a stretch through the backs of the legs. And then bending the legs and stepping back with the right foot, wriggling it back, lowering the knee to the ground, lifting up into the lunge. Just resting the hands on the thigh. And just feel this left thigh drawing back into the hip socket to experience the stretch through the front of this right thigh and hip. Breathe. Good. Then bring the hands down to the ground. Step it back. Push back into child's pose just for a moment. Check that the hands are equal distance in front of you. Come on up and then lower down through the thighs onto the belly. Just stretch the arms out in front of you and walk the arms back to come into Sphinx pose. So comfortable Sphinx pose, elbows directly under shoulders, arms straight forward from the elbows. Just press gently into the tops of the feet and just open a little bit through the front of the body. Relax the shoulders down. So just breathing in some vitality and energy into the body through this back bend. So this is the basic back bend. You can come to this pose through the practice, or you can take the more challenging back bends as we go. So remember, there's always this option to come back to. Lower, bring the hands in closer to the chest, lift up, back into child's pose. Come to all fours, hands directly under shoulders, arch your cat. Move it into cow face pose where you let the hips dip towards the ground, open through the front of the body, and as you exhale, arch and round. And again, same thing. You can take cat cow as a variation instead of moving into the down dog. Okay, to move into your down dog, you tuck your toes under, you draw the arms in, you send the thighs and the heels back. We're going to lift and lower for this variation. Lower the knees as you breathe in. Come to all fours. Again, making sure the arms are secure. Send the heels and the thighs back. Do one more. Breathing in as you lower. Exhale, sending it back. Good, and then lower. Stepping through with the right leg into the lunge. Drawing this right thigh back a little bit. This time hands to hips. A little bit more feeling of opening through the front of the body. Hips are nice and even. If you had lights in your hips, they'd be pointing straight forwards. And then folds, stepping through into your Uttanasana, your forward fold, feet hip distance. And then inhale, bring the arms wide. And exhale, bring the hands down to the center of the chest. We're going to go straight again. Inhale. Exhale, fold, hinge. Come into your forward fold. Again, partway lift, hands to shins or fingertips to the ground. As you exhale, refold, sit back with the left leg this time. Wriggle it back so you get a nice deep lunge. Lifting up, open through the front of the chest, but keep that leg drawing back into the hip. As you breathe, you feel nice and centered and balanced. And you're opening through the arms all the way to the fingers. Exhale, bring the hands down, step it back. Lower, drawing the arms in as you lower the body towards the ground. Hands just step a little bit wider, roll the shoulders down and back as you press into your baby cobra. Lower. Hands coming close to the chest to lift the shoulders and the hips back into either all fours, cat-cow, or stepping it into down dog. You can always rest in child's pose. Breathing. This time staying in down dog if the scope, and just pedaling gently the heels to the ground. Feeling the sensation of contact between the palms and the ground underneath you as you breathe. Just pedaling gently, just to find the stretch through the backs of the legs. Good, lower the knees to the floor. Step that left leg through into the lunge. Open, keeping that left thigh drawn into the hip socket to experience a stretch through the front of the other leg. Open. Exhale, lower, step through, forward fold, Uttanasana, feet hip distance. Inhale, send the arms wide. Exhale, bring the palms down to the center of the chest. One more, inhale. Exhale, fold. Again, get that left length. Step back with the right leg. Walk it back, lower the knee. Lifting up, and I'm just going to walk my left leg a little bit over to the left side of my mat. Interlace the fingers, open through the chest and fold along the leg, or coming on the inside of the leg for a slightly stronger stretch. And let the arms move up, so really opening to the shoulders. Breathing. Feeling stable, centered, balanced, calm. Lower the arms, lift the body up. Release the arms up into that lunge. Roll that thigh back into the hip socket. Exhale, lower. Step it back. Again, lower the body between the hands. Roll the shoulders back by stepping the hands a little bit wider into your baby cobra. Moving it back into down dog or into child's pose. Cat-cow if you prefer. And now maybe not pedaling, starting just to think about drawing the heels towards the ground, rooting the hands, length through the spine, broadness across the shoulders. Breath is smooth. In and out. Gazes softly back. Head. Lower the knees to the ground. Step that left leg through into that lunge. Inhale as you lift. We've already done this leg, so we're going to switch legs. Lower, step it back. We're going to step up with the right leg. Make sure we're even either side. Interlace the fingers, open. Fold along the leg. Send the arms up to stretch into the shoulders as you breathe. Good, one more. Exhale as you lower the arms. Release the arms, come into the lunge and Untitled. Draw that right thigh back. Lower the hands down, step it through into your forward fold, Uttanasana. And inhale as you come up to standing. Exhale, palms come together. Okay, step the inside edges of the feet together. Okay, sinking into the legs, fist pose, send the arms up. Breathing, zipping up from the pubic bone to the navel, arms either side of the ears, shoulders relaxed and down. As you exhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms together as you fold. Partway lift, step back with the right foot a little bit over to the right side of your mat. Toes just slightly turn out. Inhale as you lift. So it's a similar shape, a similar lunge shape, but it's standing. Let the arms flow up. As you exhale, lower the arms and just straighten the legs. And then move back into it to create that space. Again, draw that left thigh back into the hip a little bit. Feel that leg's plugged in. Try to find a little bit of length through the spine, maybe looking up. And I quite like bringing the fingertips together and just looking up to the baby finger. The baby finger is the start and the end of the heart meridian, the start of the small intestine meridian. So it's quite nice to focus on that point. Good. And then bring the hands down to the center of the chest. Step up and just fold. Inhale, lift the head, step back with the left leg over to the left side of your mat. Again, float up, bend into that right leg as you send the arms up. Lower the arms, straighten the legs, and move into it again. Maybe bringing the fingertips together. You can keep the hands down, the hands can stay on the hips. You find that stability between the front foot and the back foot. You look up to the baby finger. Find that steadiness. Sometimes it's really difficult, so much going on in your mind. Use a little long, slow exhale to help quieten the busy mind. Good. And then lower. Bring the hands either side of the front foot, step it back, walk it back into a down dog shape. You're not taking down dog, just come to all fours. Then bring the shoulders over the wrists, just cultivating a little bit of strength. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Lower the knees. Now start to think about this Chaturanga into upward facing dog. Try to keep the hips and shoulders at the same height as you bend the elbows, drawing the elbows in, lower, and send it through with the chest, opening through the front of the body, lowering the shoulders down. Remember, you can move into your baby cobra or sphinx pose. Exhale, hinging it back into down dog or into your variation that's suitable. Sending the thighs, the hips back. Find the space in the hands, spread the fingers, slowly with the breath. Good. Look between the hands, walk or step the feet between the hands. Bring the feet together, the inside edges. We'll come up through that fierce pose again. Sink in the hips, so really cultivating some strength into the legs. So you bring the arms up either side of the ears, and then slowly bring the hands to the chest. So just going to take a simple forward fold. So bringing in some blocks, possibly underneath you. Feet are stepping hip distance apart as we fold. Bringing the hands to the blocks. For an easy forward fold, lift the head up, get as much length through the backs of the legs as you can. Some of you I know can hook the first two fingers around the big toe, bring the thumb onto the top. Paswatanasana. If not, keeping the hands on the blocks as you exhale, fold. Maybe turning the blocks a little bit lower. Releasing. Just move the head gently. Feel the stretch through the backs of the legs. Good. And then inhale as we lift up. So now taking a block away so you can get a little bit deeper, or Paswatanasana, sliding the hands underneath the soles of the feet and pressing down with the soles of the feet onto the palms. It's finding a stretch through the wrist to move into a slightly stronger forward fold. If you're using the block, you're on a slightly lower setting. Remember, you can be all the way up here, that's fine. And just find that stretch through the backs of the legs. Softening, calming, soothing on the exhale. Soothing the emotions. And we're working with the fire element to do with the heart, out of balance. Can mean our emotions can get very out of balance, very fiery, very manic, very expressive. Bending the legs, releasing the hands from underneath the feet. If you're in the strongest shape, bring the hands to the hips, rooting down and slowly coming on up to standing. Send the arms up, palms come together. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the chest. Okay, so we're going to come into Uttanasana. So if you're using a block, bring your block with you. Step in the feet wide, but it's not your widest stance. We're going to take it to the back of the mat first, and my front foot's going to slip away. The heel turns out, toes turn in. What will now be my front foot points to the back of my mat. And the block, we're going to bring it to the baby toe side of that foot, so we get a nice open stretch across the chest. We're going to bend into this leg to come down to find the block. As you draw this thigh back, keep the thigh into the center line, okay? Keeping the hip in. Find the rotation through the center of the chest, other hand to hip, or send the arm up towards the sky. You can lower this block for a slightly deeper shape to get that stretch across the front of the body. So the heart meridian comes from the armpit all the way up to the baby finger. So this is a really lovely shape for working into that meridian line. And think about those emotions running smoothly, calmly, peacefully. A lovely stretch through the abdominals as well, a linked muscle. Gaze is down if you feel at all unsteady. Good. To come out of it, bend into that front leg. Inhale, bring the block with you. We're just going to take it to the other side by turning on the feet. Heel slips away, toes turn in. Block comes to the baby toe side of this front foot. Sink into the leg. Find the block. Draw the leg so that it's long. Rotate through the rib cage, hand to hip, or send the arm up towards the sky. So Utthita Trikonasana. Gaze can be down, or you can look up towards that top palm. As you breathe, you can lower the block so you get a slightly deeper setting. Try to find that full expression. If the summer, when fire exists, is about expansion, opening out. You're most yang at this time of year. So you're fully expressive, fully expansive. So we try to feel that in the poses, a sort of full expression of the poses. Good. Maybe looking up towards the top hand. Keeping the fingers just gently touching. Good, looking down towards the ground, bending into what is your front leg. Inhale as you left turn. So we're going to take this into revolved Trikonasana. So I'm stepping the feet so they're on separate tracks, bringing the block down so it's in front of me, stepping the feet a little bit closer together and drawing this front thigh up into the hip as we come into the forward fold. So it's like pyramid pose. Same hand as back foot comes down to find the block. You can bring the block closer to the foot for a stronger shape, or you can keep the block directly under the shoulder. Lift the head up, send it away from the tailbone to find that length, drawing through the back of the leg, turning, rotating in towards this leg to find that slightly stronger rotation, the revolve shape. The Pavita Utthita Trikonasana, sending the other arm up towards the sky. Feel rooted between the front foot and the back foot. Remember to only practice to the depth which is suitable for you, taking the easier option when needed. Slowly with the breath. Good. Exhale, lower the hand down, bend into this leg. Breathing in, lift the block. Turn all the way around to face the top of your mat, stepping the feet onto separate tracks, bringing the block down in front of you. Back foot pointing forwards, folding, hinging at the hip, keeping this leg bent at the front to come down to find the ground or the block, bringing the block a little bit closer, then drawing this front leg back to find that length through this front leg. Turning in towards the front leg, find that rotation, hand to hip, or sending the arm up towards the sky. Both feet are rooted. Find that connection to the breath, that stillness, that centeredness. Slowly. Good. One more here. Good. Exhale, lower the hand down, bend into that front leg. Bring the block with you. Inhale as you lift and turn to face the long edge of the mat. Step the feet wider. Put the block over by the end of your mat. You can do a little bit more Qigong, turning the toes out slightly. Crossing the arms in front of you as you sink into the legs. Inhale as you lift, and exhale, uncross the arms as you lower. Sink into the thighs. Good. Breathing in. And remember with this one, make sure that the thighs trap the same direction as the feet, so the knees aren't falling in. And it's just a lovely movement through the shoulders, where that small intestine meridian runs up the back of the arms into the shoulders. And this time we're going to take it into Warrior Two, facing the back of your mat. So my back heel slips away, toes turn in to make it comfortable for my hip. Bend into this front leg, keep the arms at shoulder height, root through the baby toe edge of this foot to find that centeredness. I've got my block, which I'm bringing in onto the baby toe side of that foot as well. Rest the arm on the thigh, other arm comes up and over into side angle. This is too strenuous for the shoulder arm, bring the hand to the hip. If this is okay, maybe you can lower the hand to the block on the outside edge as well. Find that rotation through the ribs as you breathe, rooting through the back foot. Good. Find that expression of the pose that's suitable for you where you are right now. As you breathe slowly in and out, connecting. Good. One more breath. Lower the hand down, turn and bring the block with you to face the long edge of the mat. Feet now parallel to the short edges of the mat as you slowly fold. Sit bones are moving up, crown of the head is coming down. Hands are just there supporting you, just holding you up, rooting into the outer edges of the feet. Inner thighs are drawing together. Okay, one more breath. And then inhale as you press up. Just heel toe the feet in once to allow you to come up. Bring the hands to the hips and slowly come on up. Effortless. Turn the toes out. Sink into the legs. Breathing in, cross the arms. Exhale as you lower. Try to stretch out from the center all the way to the periphery. This idea of expansive energy in the summer. Point the feet forwards and then slip the back heel away. The front foot then points straight forward. Sink into warrior two. Block, if you're using it, comes on the baby toe side of that front foot. Rest the arm for side angle. Top arm comes up and over in line with the ear or hand to hip, depending on the shoulder as you breathe. Stay here or bring this hand down to find the block. We're using the outside of the foot for a slightly more expansive feeling across the front of the body, rooting through the outer edge of the back foot. Good. Maybe looking up towards the top hand palm or keeping the ear just tucked underneath this arm as you breathe. Good, another breath. Lower the hand down, turn on the feet to face the long edge of your mat. So straighten up the feet. This time we're going to bring the hands to the hips as we fold. Just let the crown of the head come down as the sit bones move up, rooting to the outer edges of the feet as you gently release into the stretch. Feel that lovely stretch down through the backs of the legs, into the glutes, which get very tight from too much sitting. And then inhale, bending the legs slightly, pressing into the feet as you lift up. Heel toe the feet in a little bit. We're going to turn to the back of the mat, bringing our block with us, dropping that back knee. Hand, block's going to come directly under the shoulder. We're going to tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the knee, keep this hand here on the block or the ground, turn into this bent leg, and find that inwards rotation. Just let the fingertips touch gently as you breathe. Good. Find that opening across the body from the center of the chest to the edges of the fingers. Good. Exhale, lower the hand down. Bring the block with you as you turn. Place the block at the top of your mat. Feet parallel to the short edges of the mat as you fold again. This time bring the arms behind, interlacing the fingers as you fold. Just let the weight of the arms increase the stretch into the shoulders. Really enjoy that opening. Remember, if this is too much for your shoulders, just hands to hips is sufficient. Repeat the last one, or just the hands to the ground or a block underneath you. Good. Lower the arms down, which will lift you all the way up. Turn to the top of your mat and drop that back knee to the ground. Bring the block in under the shoulder, toes tucked under as you lift the knee and turn into this bent leg, this inwards rotation. So variation on the revolved side angle. The crescent lunge variation. You breathe. Find that opening. Find the steadiness of the breath. Okay, take one more breath here. Good. Exhale, lower. Turn back around for one more forward fold. Feet are wide, parallel to the short edges of the mat. Come down and see if you can hook the big toes. Let's move that block out of the way so you can see. Thumbs onto the nails. If this isn't happening, just bring the hands underneath you onto a block or just directly under the shoulders. Lift the head. Experience some stretch or length through the backs of the legs as you exhale. Slowly encourage the crown of the head to come down. And the elbows just box out to the side as you find the stretch through the backs of the legs. Experience that calmness, that peacefulness, that quietness that you get from a forward fold, and that balance that we want in summertime of all that expansive, outward moving energy, when we can get a little bit frazzled, a little bit manic.
And then inhale as you lift, bring the hands underneath you to help heel toe the feet in a little bit, turning to the top of the mat, hands either side of that front foot, step it back into down dog again. Drop the knees if you need to. Come and bring your shoulders over your wrists. Pause and then send it back. Exhale. Good. Inhale, shoulders over rest. Lower the knees. Take your little vinyasa, whether that's dropping to the ground for baby cobra or all the way to the ground for your sphinx pose, or sending it back into child's pose or eventually down dog. I'll take a few breaths here. Good. Feel rooted through the hands, heel of the hands, the bases of the fingers. Look between the hands, bending the legs, stepping through, just feet hip distance, folding, inhaling as you rise up. Exhale, bring the palms down. So we're going to take pyramid pose, bring the arms behind the back, hold on to opposite elbows. Or if you can manage the mudra, Anjali mudra, where you bring the palms together. We're going to step back with the right foot. So this is a comfortable stride back. Toes still pointing forward, lean back into the arms or the hands, drawing this left thigh back so that we're really sort of plugging that leg into the hip socket, straightening this front leg but not locking it, and folding forwards. Shoulders at equal distance towards the ground as we fold. You can just be holding the elbows, the forearms, that's fine. So pyramid pose, Paswatanasana, breathing, finding that stability between the front foot and the back foot. Harmonizing, equalizing, balancing all the systems of the body as you breathe. Good. Inhale, press into both feet as you lift. Step up, feet hip distance, lean back a little bit into the hands and step back with the other foot. Moving straight into the other side. Again, drawing this right thigh back up into the hip socket as you fold forwards. Trying to find length through the body, through the spine, crown of the head coming down, palms pressing together or holding onto the forearms. Find that steadiness in the breath. Get that calmness. Really soothing any anxiety, any busyness, any stress. And then inhale as you lift. Just take a little lean back into the hands or the arms and release and step up. So we're going to come and do a balance. You can do it where you are, but I'm going to come and face you. We're going to step into the left leg, really broaden through the sole of the feet. And I find this so much better. Stepping into a foot really allows you to feel that idea that is your platform, that is your roots of the pose. The other leg then can just float up. Bringing the arm on the inside of the leg, you're just going to open the leg out to the side. So some of you have a bind here, so you can go ahead and take that. If not, we're taking this slightly easier option, but it's not that easy for me today for some reason. Good. Trying to find that steadiness. So every day you come to the mat, you just greet the mat with whatever's coming up. Breathing in, come back to the center. See if you can just lift the leg a little bit higher, maybe even extend the leg out in front of you as you step balance. Find a little something to focus on and then release it down, step it out. Good. Step into the right foot, broaden through the sole of the foot as you step in, other leg lifts. Again, taking the bind if you have it in your practice, or just bringing this leg out to the side. Find that steadiness. It doesn't matter if you need to keep coming down to the ground or come to a wall on this side, that's fine. Breathe. Any balance is a good balance. Bring it back in. Again, hands to hips. See if you can extend that leg for a moment as you breathe. Find that steadiness and then release it down. Good. Give it a little pedal. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to come down to the ground now. Take a partway lift. Step back with one. Step back with the other. Good. Lower the knees to the ground. Take a little Chaturanga, or remember, take your little flow into your back bend of choice. Send it back into down dog. Let's take another breath. We're going to come and do a little bit of forearm work. So lower to the knees, come down onto your forearms and bring the backs of the hands to the floor. See if you can have the forearms directly out from the elbows, and see if you can bring the thumbs down to touch the mats. So you're really opening through the wrists. This is really nice because we've got 3 meridians that come down through the wrists here. We've got the lung at the thumb, we've got the pericardium through the middle, and we've got the heart at the baby finger edge, at the pisiform edge of the hands. So opening through the wrists. See if you can bring the thumbs down to touch. And then bring the palms down to face the ground, but try to not let the hands stack, keeping the hands wide. Good, breathing here. And tucking the toes under, and see if you can lift the hips into your sort of forearm down dog, or dolphin pose, sometimes it's called. Just letting the head hang down as you breathe. So really cultivating a sense of strength around the shoulders. Lowering the knees if you need to. Not see if you can stay just for a couple more breaths. Bending the knees as well if you need to. Sending the thighs back, the hips back, the ankles back. One more breath. Good, lower the knees, just rest for a moment. Just rest the forehead on the back of the hands. Take a moment. And when you're ready, lifting the head and chest and swinging the legs around to come to seated. So, coming for Paswatanasana, forward fold, just taking the flesh a little bit away from the sit bones, sitting nice and tall. As you breathe, as you exhale, folding forwards at the hips. And it's as if the sacrum is moving forwards into this forward fold with you. Shoulders are relaxed down and back as you breathe. Just hands resting on the ground either side of you, or bringing the hands to rest on the shins. If you can reach the feet comfortably, you could reach for the feet, but sometimes I find that just makes my shoulders hunch up around my ears, and it's actually not helpful. It's more helpful to bring the hands here, either side. Good. Take another breath. And then very gently walking it back to the body. Bring the hands behind you, roll the shoulders down and back as you lift the chest. You can bend into the right leg and bring the sole of the foot to the floor as you lift the hips. See if you can bring the sole of the left foot to the floor as you elevate the hips into this half Paswatanasana. If the shoulders aren't happy about this, then just stay with the bum on the floor and just feel the back bends. Okay, lower down gently. We're going to take this into a seated twist. So bring in this leg in a little bit with a gap about handspan distance between the two legs. Bring this arm on the inside. We're going to go forward first and then take another twist. So the shoulder is coming on the inside of the knee, and we're sort of pressing. It's really nice this because there's a small intestine point right here on the inside of the shoulder, outside of the shoulder, just before the shoulder blade. So we're sort of pressing the leg into that point as you reach forward. Some of you have a bind here, which I'm not going to talk through, but if you have it, please take it. If not, we're just going for this forward fold, using this hand behind us just to help cultivate tipping forwards as we breathe. Other hand maybe just touching the ground if it's not quite reaching the foot. So we're sort of trying to bring this shoulder beyond the shin of the bent leg. Good. And then inhale as we lift, turn in towards the bent leg, take an inwards rotation, relax the shoulder. So either hugging the leg in or bringing the arm on the outside of the leg. So we're trying to bring the shoulders in a different direction to the hips, but without force. Take one more breath. Release, come out of that rotation, face the end of your mat, come into your little dinghy, your boat, whatever it is, beautiful yachts. You can have one foot on the floor as you're cultivating strength through the core. And then lower, either with straight legs or crossing the legs. See if you can lift the hips away from the ground and then lower. We're going to come back into another forward fold. So the second forward fold, take the flesh away again.
coming through. Maybe if you have a flat block and you can reach the feet, you might want to hold the block on the sort of balls of the feet. If not, you're resting the hands either side. Sort of feeling a little bit more stretch through the back, so the legs now in this lovely length all the way down through the spine. Keep the belly small, so when you breathe in, big breaths into the belly to sort of bounce you up out of the forward fold. So instead, breathe into the back a little bit more, into the rib cage a little bit more. Good. Inhale as you slowly lift, bend into this left leg a little bit away from the right leg. Bring the hands behind you, fingers forward. Point forwards, roll the shoulders down and back. Either keep the hips on the floor or lift the hips up and bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. It's a beautiful stretch through that tibialis muscle in the front of the ankle. Feels good. And then lower the leg down. Good. Stepping this leg in a little bit closer, but still keeping the gap. Bring the same arm as bent leg on the inside and use the other hand to tip you forwards into your forward fold. So remember, there's a bind for some of you in this. Breathing as you reach for the foot or just resting the hand along the leg or on the floor. Hand behind you is encouraging that forward fold, but it's not forcing. Good. Inhale as you lift up, turn into this bent leg. Find that inwards rotation or bringing the arm to the outside of the thigh as you draw the body round. So again, don't push, don't force, encourage. Soften with the breath. And then inhale as you release, come out of the twist back into your boat. So choose your boat. Choose a boat which is suitable for you to float along in. Take another breath. Cross the ankles, lift the hips, and lower. Good. So we do one little Uttanasana. So soles of the feet come together, bring the hips in. Bring the hands to the outer edges of the feet. Encourage the thighs to move down towards the ground. Letting the body move forwards into that space. Shoulders are relaxed down as you breathe. Just encouraging with the elbows, just gently, softly on the inner thighs. Not pushing, not forcing. Feeling that lovely stretch. And then inhale as you come back into center. I'm going to hook the big toes and then I'm going to open one leg out to the side from the center of the body all the way to the heel. Bring it in. Exhale, open through the other leg. Inhale. See for fun if you can balance on both, with both legs lifted. Relax the shoulders down. And then release, bring the legs in. Good. Hug the legs in. A little bit of rolling. So if you're practicing this at home, please watch if you're unsure. We're going to be coming into a very low shoulder stand, and putting pressure on your neck isn't suitable for everybody. And you mustn't turn and look at the video whilst you're in the practice. So this is a very simple little transition, rolling into a very low shoulder stand, just catching the hips, coming forwards, inhaling, flopping into an easy forward fold. And as you exhale, rolling back. Take 3 rolls. And if this isn't working for you, if it's not something you want to be doing today, then just come down onto your back and press up into a very low bridge, or take a twist. Bring the hands and just catch the hips, the pelvis, bringing the pelvis in front of the shoulders. So it's a very low, easy shoulder stand. Those of you that practice this regularly could lift the legs a little bit higher. But if not, just stay here with me. Just taking this gentle inversion. Just enjoying this sort of reset, refresh for the mind, for the brain. There's something really nice about putting the body upside down that brings about a sense of stillness and quietness. But make sure that it's suitable for your neck. So I quite like to have my hips in front of my shoulders like this, so that there's no pressure on the back of my neck at all. Get the same benefits of being upside down.
Good. To come out of it, bring the legs very close to the body. Slowly lower the back down onto the ground. Come up with some grace. Just bring the fingertips, tuck them under the bum, lower onto the forearms, and just pop up the rib cage into a little fish pose. Just looking down the body. And then release the hands and lower down onto your back. And just bring the knees into the belly. Just take a little circle of the knees in one direction and a little circle in the other direction. Again, bring the feet to the floor, take the arms wide, let the knees fall to the side into an easy twist. Inhale, lift the knees and let them fall in the other direction. Come back into the center. Bring the arms in by the side of you and just extend one leg at a time. And I quite like to drop the knee out to the side and then extend the leg. And then drop the knee out to the side and then extend the leg. So get a really nice sort of feeling of opening around the pelvis. Take the feet a little bit wider. Any adjustments, putting anything on that you need to, blankets, putting something underneath your head. And just come to this easy relaxation pose, Shavasana. Just being aware of the breath as it moves in and out. Tuning into the body. Becoming aware of the center of the body, the center of the chest, where the heart resides. And just like we did at the beginning, imagine there's a little ember or a little gentle fire burning at the heart center. And as you exhale, you're just very gently blowing on the embers of the heart. You're encouraging the heart to grow a little bit warmer, a little bit brighter. And the emotion associated with this fire practice is joy, imbalance of joy. So happiness, fun. As you breathe and you blow gently on the embers of the heart, just think about a place, a person, something you like to do that really brings about a sense of joy and happiness in your life. Really put yourself in your body at the time of visiting that place or being with that person. So you're in your nervous system. So you're ramping up that feeling, that emotion in your heart. Every time you breathe, you're just sort of fanning the flames of that emotion, making it a little bit brighter, a little bit stronger. Feel that love, that joy, that emotion, that happiness, and let it spread throughout the whole body. But in amongst that energy and that excitement, there's a tiny spot of stillness. And just see if you can melt into that tiny spot of stillness. Just like a drop of milk dropping into a great big bucket of water and dissolving. Like the sort of stillness in the middle of a hurricane. There's all this energy welling around about it, but in the center is still and quiet. See if you can just bathe in that stillness in the center of all this energy, all this excitement, all this vibrancy. How does that feel? What does that experience feel like in the body? And letting go of all the other little lines that arrive on your face during the day. Just put in 2 lines from the corners of your mouth to your ears to bring about a little smile. Just smile into the whole body and the heart as you experience that stillness amidst all that energy and vibrancy. Feel completely content, completely tranquil. Body, mind, spirits emotionally balanced. Able to cope with the stress and the strains of life as they get thrown at you. Feel that harmony, that contentedness spreading throughout the whole body.
And when you're ready, just begin to bring the mind back into the room, back into your body, just touching the tips of your fingers, wriggling your toes, stretching the arms out overhead, having a stretch and a yawn. Bringing the knees back into the body, having a little rock from side to side. Coming to rest on one side and then making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Crossing the legs, straight legs, whatever works for you. Bring in the hands and just bring the palms to the center of the chest, that heart center point. Just bow the heads. Notice the emotions. Notice how you feel and just give a little bit of thanks for this practice that we've done together, that we've shared. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. See you again soon. Bye.